Welcome to the show. This is CRE Insight, where we shine light on extraordinary people driving exceptional results. Today on the show, we have Universal Site Services, a commercial maintenance company, and we have Jeremy Lubin. Welcome to the show, Jeremy.
Thank you so much for having me, Jamie. So I am the regional sales manager for Universal Site Services, which is an exterior maintenance company. So we offer parking lot sweeping, pressure washing, landscaping, day porter service, and everything in between for commercial properties. So I sell these services to business or to building owners and property managers. So we were founded in 1958 by a man named Leonard Vela in San Jose. He's known as the grandfather of the sweeping industry since we were one of the first parking lot sweeping companies.
Oh,
And
wow.
he also helped develop the modern parking lot sweeping truck.
Okay.
And then in 2005, his daughter Gina and son Joe took over the company, and we've been crushing it ever since. We've expanded all throughout California and then recently into Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and Hawaii.
Tell me about your customers, your clients.
We serve everyone from big box retail chains to top tier property management firms to mom and pop investors who just own and self manage a single building. And then, Universal also has a great reputation in the industry, so we get a ton of referrals. So one of the great things about our company and something that I think separates us from our competitors is that we don't work via long-term contracts.
Okay.
It's month to month. So you basically sign our proposal, and there's a little bit of fine print at the bottom that just says that if you are going to cancel services, give us 30 days advance written notice, and that's it.
I notice on your website you have a wide variety of services. It kind of runs the spectrum. And one of the things that caught my eye was graffiti removal.
Well, not every city has a graffiti removal program. Some do, a lot don't. And if you are lucky enough to get the services of the city, it generally takes a while for them to come out. It's not immediate. And by the time they come out, there could be, a lot more of it. And, they also don't really care so much about color matching. They'll maybe try to, do something close, but it's usually pretty obvious when the city is the one, who covered up the graffiti.
Yeah.
I always tell property managers and building owners, I say the best thing you can do is, when you first paint your building, save all of those color codes and just have them on hand so that if there is graffiti, you can just give those color codes to us and we can come out, we can color match and do a much better job than the city would. I think your average person probably takes the maintenance for granted. A lot of people don't realize that, one day at a particular busy shopping center without a sweeping service or without a porter service, your property can get completely trashed.
Right.
So I don't personally know the type of people that would change a diaper in the middle of the parking lot and just chuck it out the window, throw a fast food bag, just instead of walking to a trash can, just dump it in the middle of the parking lot. But
it happens.
There are a lot of slobs, and that's why we exist. There are people like that everywhere all day long. So,
oh, wow.
I would say like one-off handyman kind of stuff for items that would be within a parking lot. So replacing bollards, restriping, which we do once in a while, patching up potholes, repairing gates, repairing doors, stuff like that we can do as a one-off, and we do quite a bit of that actually. And people run over stop signs, and we were constantly replacing signs. We do what else? ADA compliance stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, really any kind of one-off handyman item that would take place within a parking lot, we can do.
Oh, great.
There's quite a few of them. I think one of them would be that Sweeping trucks pick up large trash items like cups, cans, wood chunks from pallets.
Mhm.
That's what a day porter is for.
Okay.
So a sweeping truck is to control accumulation of small debris like leaves,
Mhm.
dirt, and then small pieces of trash like cigarette butts, receipts, gum wrappers, etc. Um, Another common misconception is that sweeping trucks are guaranteed to be on your property for a certain amount of time each
Mhm.
night. So the truck is supposed to drive through the entire property and hit all the areas of the property,
Yeah.
and then they leave. So when we bid on parking lot sweeping, our price is based on the typical amount of time it would take to sweep the property.
Mhm.
Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes sometimes a property that would normally take an hour just
Right.
happens to be clean that day and it only takes 20 minutes to sweep.
Uh-huh.
The day porters and sweeping crews will haul away illegal dumping. They don't do that. That's a separate service. So, just like graffiti removal is a separate service, haul away of illegal dumping is also separate. Day porters don't remove homeless encampments or kick people off the property.
Right.
A homeless encampment would be something that the day porter is supposed to report,
Mhm.
but they don't handle that as part of their scope of work.
Okay.
Common problems from the owner's point of view would be underestimating costs of maintenance or the amount of maintenance needed on their property,
Okay.
not creating a large enough budget for maintenance or capex in general.
Mhm.
um, Common issues for a listing broker, I think, would be not having regular communication with the property manager.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever run into that, but it's not a listing broker's job to, keep the property clean.
Right.
And they generally wouldn't know who the maintenance vendor is unless they like happen to be on site and, catch somebody working.
Right.
But if a listing broker has certain concerns about the condition of the property and thinks that it may be affecting deals,
Right.
then they should definitely be expressing those to the property manager so the property manager can communicate that stuff to us. We all work for the owner. We
Mhm.
all have the same goals, which is to keep the property clean and keep tenants happy and filling vacancies, right? So we should all be working as a team.
Very
And
cool.
then common problems that I see from a tenant point of view
Yeah.
would be not knowing or fully understanding their leases.
Mhm.
So not knowing like what types of maintenance are covered under the lease, what's considered common area maintenance
Right.
versus what's not common area. So
Mhm.
some tenants will see our day porter on site and then ask them to mop up a spill like inside their unit. And
Yeah.
that, for instance,
That's
is something.
janitorial.
Yeah, and then since it's not common area, that's just not something that we're able to do. That's not in the scope of work. Scope of work is just for us to maintain common areas.
Yeah, I think that's a really important distinction. A lot of tenants, after they sign the lease, they're like happy, they move in, but they really don't understand the lease. And I think that takes some education.
Some of the best advice I would have given my younger self is just get into the CRE industry. I mean, there are so many opportunities, and even if you're in the industry and not satisfied with the particular role you have, maybe you don't like being an assistant property manager. My advice would be to become active in some of the networking organizations like IREM, BOMA, IFMA, and you'll learn a lot more about other companies and other roles within the industry.
Yeah,
And you'll meet a lot of great people who you can build relationships with who can definitely help you down the line. You might find something else within the industry that you end up loving. So try to stay in the industry if you're in the industry. And if you're
yeah,
not in it, get into it. Um, and yeah, I mean, even if you're, 60 years old, it doesn't matter how old you are.
mhm,
You could be working for another 15 years.
yeah,
So if your property manager is 60 years old and you want to, you know, try something else. You can get into sales, working for a maintenance vendor and probably do very, very well with all the contacts that you've built over the years.
Yeah, I think commercial real estate is one of the few industries that celebrates wisdom. And with age comes a lot of wisdom. So many industries that's all youth focused, like, you can only do it when you're young. But in commercial real estate, I found the best people that have been, at it for 30, 40, 50 years even.
Yeah. And, I think that the longer you're in this industry, the more you benefit from your network.
Mhm.
For me personally, I mean, my, selling now in this industry is a lot easier versus 7 years ago when I first got in, just because I know so many more people.
Right. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also email me. It's J Lubin. So first letter of my first name and then last name, Lubin, at universalsiteservices.com. Cell phone 213-215-4867. You can also see me at your local BOMA, IFMA, and IREM events. I'm a member
Okay.
of many different chapters because my territory is all Southern California. So, I'm a member of the OC chapters, the LA chapters, the San Diego chapters, the Inland Empire chapters. So, highly recommend getting involved in those if you're not currently. Um, and then, if you ever are interested in coming to one of my events that I put on,
Mm,
hit me up. Let me know. I'd
great,
love to have you.
great. Thank you for your time, Jeremy. I learned a lot. You opened my eyes to parking maintenance, exterior building maintenance, and I think there's a lot of people that are going to be blessed by this conversation.
I hope so. There's probably a lot of people out there that might find maintenance boring or dry. I think to be a successful salesperson, you definitely have to be enthusiastic in what you sell. And I think parking lot sweeping trucks are cool. I love going out and watching them do their thing. I love watching the crews at work. I
Yeah,
love watching people pressure wash. It's actually really satisfying, like watching them, knock out stains.
yeah.
So I love maintenance. And then, just being a house flipper, I love being able to like walk around a shopping center and make a list of all the items that need to be fixed and kind of help the property manager budget for all those. Like that's fun for me. So
Very cool. Well, thank you for being on today's episode.
thank you.
Um, that's it for today's episode, CRE Insight. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you, everybody.